Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We welcome you, whatever time and wherever in the world you are listening. We are pleased you have found us. You are now listening to Inside the Bunghole, a podcast taking you on a journey through wine. Together, we will learn more about this wonderful elixir of life. So raise your glass to welcome your hosts and partners in wine, Pam and James. You are now inside the bunghole.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Inside the Bunghole. We have a very fun show today. We are talking with Mr. Dave Fraschetti. Palm Springs Pinot Noir Fest, a passion for Pinots, is one of his events. And we're going to be finding out a little bit more. Again, my sidekicks are James Salisbury.
Hello.
And Don Maselli.
Hello.
And welcome, Dave.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about your passion for Pinot.
Okay.
We've got some Pinots here. We're going to be.
We do.
We do. We've got what, 4 total?
4 of them.
That's
that
fun.
will be.
We started. I started producing wine events back in 2012, and when we moved out to the desert almost 5 years ago, I wanted desperately to start a Pinot event. We had our very first one last January, and then COVID hit, but it was a sellout, and it was for a first year event. We had some of the top Pinot producers in the entire state, and it was a challenge because I had been producing wine festivals at Vin Diego in San Diego, and then the third year at Rancho Mirage. So we had a great gathering of wineries that we could pull from, and I didn't pull from one of them because I wanted true Pinot producers. I wanted the creme de la creme, and it was kind of scary because it was starting all over again. So I couldn't say, "Hey, Pam, I know you make a Pinot, you want to come to this event." And we had plenty of wineries saying, "Hey, Dave,
We make a
Pinot." And boy, that was a tap dance. Because I said, I get it, I hear you, but I'm going for wineries that their forte is cool climate grapes, Chardonnay, Pinot. And this is what I'm going for. And they got it, they understood.
What made you have a passion for Pinots and think about putting just Pinot producers?
Well, a couple of reasons, Pam. It's called passion number 4 Pinot. Pinot fans are truly passionate about that grape. There's another group of individuals that love a particular wine, like the Zin Fest up in San Francisco. If you've ever attended that, that's one crazy event. People that love Zin, but people that are truly passionate about Pinot is like no other group. You're not going to find it with Cab, Chardonnay, or anything like that. That might be Chardonnay is still the number one ordered wine, but it's like, give me a Chardonnay. Whatever, give me a white. With Pinot, they'll name it by the winery, which particular wine they want, which particular winery they want. And these people are extremely passionate. I did a lot of research with the wineries, talking to the wineries, what do you think? And they said, we have such a need for this. God, we'd love it if you do it. And by God, we started from scratch, and we had wineries that I hadn't even reached out to, and they're calling me saying, can we be a part of this? And Saxon Brown calling me and saying, we'd love to be a part of this. It's like, yeah, thanks.
So your first year, you had how many participants?
We had right around
wineries.
I think we had 54, if I recall off the top of my head.
And you sold out at 100 tickets, right? Or
oh no, 1,200.
1,200.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we maxed out. We couldn't put anybody else in that room.
So tell me, the first wine you poured here, where is that from and what is it?
This is a French Burgundy, which we would call a Pinot Noir. They would call it Burgundy.
I know it's French.
It's nice.
We were tasked that you were bringing all the American. We were bringing, James and I brought an Australian Southern Hemisphere.
I'm looking forward to tasting that too. I haven't had an Australian Pinot.
And Donnie brought a
Isn't that yummy?
So Burgundy, I know, is the region because, of course, were really green and new. But Burgundy is where is that all they grow in Burgundy is Pinot Noirs? I know there's a white
I think the
Burgundy.
vast majority of what they grow, white Burgundy and red Burgundy.
And would white Burgundy be a Chardonnay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what made you produce these festivals? Not music or not, you pick wines, spirits.
That's a great question. Lynn and I, my wife and I, have enjoyed going to wine festivals for God knows how many years. And we saw a disturbing trend developing when it comes to events, wine events. And as the wineries put it, this is their term, they became nothing more than drunk fests.
So how do you police that in your festival?
We only serve wine. We only allow wine. Here's the problem.
Plus, wine drinkers are so much more classy anyway.
Well, you're not gonna. It won't go to your head like beer will. Typically, we usually don't have a lot of sparkling wines for that reason because that goes right to your head. We want serious wine lovers and wine drinkers. And when I pitched this to the wineries our first year, I said, I am going to promise you something. Our attendees are going to ask a ton of questions, and they're going to want to know how many months in French oak, American oak, et cetera, et cetera. They're gonna quiz you. And people said, we'll give it a shot. These winemakers and winery owners, they had one raised eyebrow. In our very first event, I'll never forget it, we had two winery owners approach me the same time. They know each other. And they come up to me with a finger pointing. And that's never a good thing. And I thought, oh, good God, what's going to happen now? And the one gentleman looks at me and he's pointing his finger, and the whole time he says, Dave, you promised us this wasn't going to be a drunk fest. Yeah. You promised us these people would ask us questions and want to know about our wines. Yeah. And he looked at me and he says, how in the hell did you do this? And I said, it's very simple. You don't mix alcohols. If you want to have a true wine fest, a wine education fest like ours, then you don't mix alcohols, period. And it just baffles me why any winery marketing person would attend an event that has mixed drinks. Because one shot of tequila or bourbon or any type of whiskey destroys your palate just like that.
Yeah.
And you're never going to be able to taste the nuances of these wines. So my shout out to the wineries has been, hey, be more selective as to where you go. And which events you attend, because it's expensive. If you're flying down, if you're driving down, you've got your wine, you've got hotels, meals, a rental car, whatever it might be, and you're catering to a bunch of drunks that don't care what they're drinking.
Yeah.
They'll put a glass in front of you and say, "Give me a red." Seriously? A red? You're not even going to ask for the varietal? So is that really a customer of yours, do you think? Or are they just there to party?
Yeah.
And if you want to throw a party, that's great. But we're throwing a wine marketing event. That's what ours are. You guys don't know that because you're having a great time. But our wineries know. This is a wine marketing event. And we have been very selective as to who we invite and the way we structure the whole system. It works. It just works. I'm not trying to be everything to everyone. I don't have a golf tournament. I don't have celebrity chefs. Nothing against celebrity chefs. Don, I love to cook. That's how my wife and I met. But the reason I don't have celebrity chefs is because you guys, as the winery owners, are there to market your wines, right? If I have a celebrity chef doing a cooking demonstration for 30 minutes, that means your future potential customers are not in front of you. They're talking to a celebrity or listening to a celebrity chef. No, I want them in front of my wineries. I want them to learn about the wines, to become educated, fall in love, join the wine club, and buy lots of wine from these people. So that's how we do things differently. And it's worked out great.
And they are a lot of fun. It's a very well run event.
Thank you.
I did not go to the Pinot one because somebody didn't invite me, but usually I am his arm candy.
Well, listen,
Don, I think she's looking right at you.
We're going to take a quick break, drink this second wine, and I want to ask you behind the scenes of putting together a festival without giving me names or dirt, but some of the red tape you have to go through.
Sure.
I'm sure it's not just a walk in the park.
It's not.
Okay.
We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
That is nice music. That is that the Nutcracker or something? What is that?
Dance of the Pinot Noir Fairy.
Yes, those are actually wine glasses filled with Pinot Noir.
Speaking of Pinot Noir,
Yep. Well, if you're a wine lover and you love Pinot Noir, we have something to tell you. Hold on to your glass. Bam, what is it?
Saturday, January 8th, is the second Palm Springs Pinot Noir Fest, aka a passion for Pinot.
It's all taking place at the world-class JW Marriott's Desert Springs Resort and Spa.
And the cool thing about it is there's over 60 top-tier Pinot Noir producers that'll be pouring their outstanding, world-class Pinot Noirs just for you.
You always like to put a face behind the bottle, but to actually meet, if you love Pinot Noir like we do, to actually meet the winemaker or the owner of that vineyard and talk to him, to her directly, that is freaking awesome. And they're there, man. They're there.
Last year, this event was sold out. Sold out. And this is the biggest and most incredible Pinot Noir tasting south of Santa Barbara.
It's a must. It's a must do. Now, how do I get a ticket? And if I'm a listener to Inside the Bunghole, what kind of bennies do I get?
Well, coincidentally, if you put in the promo code BUNG, B-U-N-G, you'll get $10 off the ticket price. And all you have to do is go to PalmSpringsPinotFest.com. And remember, this event sold out in their first year.
That's right. Yep.
So get your damn tickets early.
Saturday, January 8th.
At JW Marriott's Desert Springs Resort and Spa.
With over 60 top-tier Pinot Noir producers will be there live.
Don't miss this event. And
Yes.
put in promo code BUNG for $10 off your ticket price.
And that's when you log on to www.palmspringspinotfest.com. So go to palmspringspinotfest.com and you go to buy tickets. You put in how many tickets you want, and then you're going to see a little thing that says promo code. Type in BUNG, B-U-N-G, and apply, and you'll get $10 knocked off. Woohoo! So we'll hope to see you there, and it's going to be an awesome, awesome experience. I don't have my glass, but I'm gonna tap your glass.
There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers, people. In case you missed any of this information, it will be in the show notes of the show. And you can always go to our social media. InsideTheBunghole.buzzsprout.com is our website. At Inside the Bunghole is our Instagram. And our Facebook page.
Yes, Facebook page. Something like that.
Something like that. And then there's also at Bunghole Podcast. I think that one's our Twitter.
So there's no excuse. We'll see you out there. Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome back. We are here inside the bunghole with our friend Dave Fraschetti, who puts on some amazing wine events. And we're looking forward to more events in the future. And James had an interesting question as we were going out to break about some behind the scenes of putting on an event such as this.
That's correct.
Okay.
Take it away.
What do you want to know?
I guess you have to get the city behind you.
Absolutely.
So you've got the city. Now
Yes.
the city's in your hip pocket. Now you have to get...
Thinking of like toilets and that. And
Yeah,
liquor and
I mean,
alcohol,
everything.
Oh yeah,
tobacco,
it's
that whole thing.
it's people that don't know what we do say, "Well, you put a wine festival together," and it's in April or February, March, whenever we have it.
People show up at
So-
fold-out tables and put their wine,
Yeah,
and that's it.
and it cracks me up, James, because they'll say, "So when do you start working on this? Like January?"
Oh,
I said,
yeah, the year
"No.
before.
If we have it in February, I take the month of March off, truly a month, because I am burnt, totally burn out. And guess what? We start in April. We do it all over again. It's like painting the Golden Gate Bridge. You finish one end, and you start, and you go right back again, because there's no guarantee the wineries are going to come back, because they have schedules.
Wineries, sponsorships.
Absolutely.
I mean,
The health department.
Right.
We have
hotels for people. I mean, I'm sure they get their own hotel. But...
Yeah, which they do. But, the ABC licenses, the sponsorships are key, because you have to have sponsorships to do this. The wineries. I mean, it's not a given they're coming back. And we had several that couldn't make it the following year, whatever, of any event that we do, because it conflicts. Well, we have a cruise that year, and we'll be gone.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just got to keep them in the loop.
Is table space the same for everyone? Is there a winery that might want to buck for another position, or does it matter?
We don't allow it.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't allow it. We want everyone to be on an equal playing field. It's kind of like the King Arthur round table type of thing. No one's a favorite. Everyone in a circle is well represented that way. And we try to keep the wineries set by region, though. For instance, Sonoma will be with Sonoma, Napa will be with Napa, Lodi will be with Lodi, Santa Barbara with Santa Barbara. It just makes it easier, and because we oftentimes have the marketing arms for these AVAs join us, so they'll have all of their paraphernalia and their little tchotchkes and things to hand out. So,
Dave, how long have you and Lynn been producing wine events?
We started in 2012.
You have a Facebook page set up, and
Facebook, websites, e-blast, radio.
How does somebody get
TV.
in touch with you via Facebook?
What's that?
How does somebody get in touch with you via Facebook?
Just go to our Facebook page, vindiego.com.
Rancho Mirage Wine wrapping up the show?
No, not at all.
we have some
That went fast.
mushroom risotto we still need to
We
go.
do. Hey, we got to have something that'll pair with these Pinots.
So here's the second Pinot Noir. Tell me about this one that we're ready to have right
Christopher Creek, an amazing winery out of Sonoma. This is their Lavio Vineyard Sonoma Coast Pinot. This retails for right around $75, and it is delicious. Now, you could spend a fortune on Pinots, and you can go less expensive. You don't have to go super expensive, but the ones I brought are up there. But they're just phenomenal. They're so food friendly. And Pam, you asked what is so special about Pinot. I love to cook, as I told you. That's why I brought the risotto. It's so food friendly. These are so balanced. They have great acid. They're very, very nice fruit, but they're not super fruit forward. Pinot is really made to be consumed with food. Now, if you want to just have a glass of Chardonnay or a glass of Cab or whatever, this is a wine that really stands out and shines when you pair it with some food.
A duck would be brilliant.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
So our friend that is also a chefy type brought a beautiful mushroom risotto because he says nothing pairs better. So
It's a little, I don't know if it's warm enough, but
It's okay.
We're good.
You know
So
what? We're so easy.
how do you and your wife work together as a team? How do you delegate who does what to put together a festival?
oh boy, that's a
That's a loaded question.
And by the way, let me
Just
point
here,
out.
answer it this way. She does all the work.
Absolutely, and she might be
Yeah.
listening.
Yes. And Dawn knows Lynn very, very well. And I could not do this job without her. She is my right-hand person. And let me point out that we've been married 40 years right now, okay? And it's a challenge working together with your spouse. But we work very, very well together. She is super on top of the details. I'm the guy that reaches out to... Lynn handles restaurants and sponsorships, and I handle everything wine-related. That's my forte, and that is her forte.
So, Dave, let's talk about this wine from Christopher Creek.
Yes.
What are you tasting? What are you smelling?
Oh, what do you guys get? I'm getting lots of red fruit in this. Cherries, strawberries,
Getting cherries, raspberries.
black cherry. It's just
Black cherry, yeah.
and it's so smooth. I mean,
It is beautiful.
these are beautiful tannins that are silky smooth on the palate, and
Spoon me up a little bit of that.
Here,
because
let me.
I think that's
you
gonna
help
be.
yourself.
That's going to be the pairing.
It's not real warm though,
It's okay.
because I made it a
I'm
while
smoking
ago.
hot, so.
There you go. But it will pair beautifully with that.
Yes.
And then the second bottle that you brought over is the
Alchemista Cellars.
Well, that's making a really nice noise.
And Greg LaFollette is the winemaker owner at Alchemista, and what a guy. And his wines, both of these wineries,
And
these are just two.
Sonoma?
Yes, they're both Sonoma County. This particular one from Alchemista is from the Manchester Ridge Vineyard, which is up in Mendocino. So they love, Pinot is a tough grape. It's so finicky, and it's not for the faint of heart. And these winemakers, these men and women, just
You said it's
give it
it likes cold.
yes, and it's so darn hard. Just because you have it planted doesn't mean you're going to have a great harvest. It's very, very difficult, and these people give their all to it. And Sonoma to me, thank you. Sonoma to me is one of my most favorite regions. The Russian River Valley in particular.
That's one place I want to go.
It's great.
I have not been there yet.
The Russian River Valley is very unique. It's as an AVA. It has what they call 7 neighborhoods, not homes, but 7 neighborhoods of different areas of that AVA. And they're so different. There's more soil types in Sonoma County than all of France.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's how diverse it is. So you're talking about terroir. That's so different. And the different neighborhoods. And I mean, Oregon makes great Pinot. I love going up to Willamette Valley, especially the Dundee Hills area. But to me, I'm a native Californian, and at our events, we don't have a lot of Italian and Portuguese or French wines. I don't have the knowledge, number one. I'm not a sommelier. I'm just a guy that loves wine and loves putting on events and letting people have a great time. And as a native Californian, I feel it's part of my duty to help my fellow Californians get the word out about their wines. And a lot of these guys, let's face it, these men and women producing these wines are farmers, and they're salt of the earth. Many of them, like, Tongue Dancer, for instance, James McPhaley's. I think James is like a 4th generation Californian. They've been farming many years up there. And a lot of these winery people are that way, especially the small family wineries.
By the way, there's a wonderful pear here.
This
thank
is
you.
amazing.
This is a mushroom that really, and this is kind of mushroomy, it really works.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very much so.
Earthy, very
Earthy, and you get that forest flora. It's often called, I don't want to get too technical because I laugh because some of these adjectives and the descriptions of wines, like, it tastes like tar. Right. Saddle leather. Okay, let me ask you, what the hell are you doing eating tar? Who's sucking on a saddle leather? I don't want to know that person.
How often do you eat lychee? Lychee fruit.
Cassis. How many people have ever even tasted that? Don't even know what it is. So let's not overthink it. Are these great drinking wines? You better believe it.
And they're like you said, Pinot Noir, we found out in an earlier episode, Riesling there's food wines that the food tastes better with the wine and the wine tastes better with the food.
Absolutely. That's the way it should be, I think.
So now how did you go about going back to the Pinot Noir Fest? How did you go about vetting these very specific Pinot aficionados?
How did I get them to come?
Or how did you find out? I mean, how did you find them? How did they find you?
It truly is amazing. I wish to God I could take credit for that. I can't. It's my team that puts all that together for me. And because I say, this is my audience, this is what I'm going for, go find them for me. And they do. So I let them do their magic.
Well, I tell you what, I've not very recently, but found out that Pinot Noir was, just a very special grape. I mean, a Cabernet is kind of like, I don't want to say a bully, but it's, it's Pinot Noir is like the good friend that you go and you cry on their shoulder. They're there for you. You know what I mean? They're just nuanced. It's nuance. Sure. It's subtle.
Very elegant.
Elegant.
And again, going back to the food friendly, it's not going to overpower the food. You've got to be careful with some of the high alcohol Zins or Cabs because, you don't want a super hot wine, meaning high alcohol, that's going to compete with the food. And you put a great Pinot together with a meal. Wow, it just goes hand in hand. You want to sip, you want to take a bite. You want to sip, you want to take a bite. So
tell me about this third wine here.
Alchemista, Greg LaFollette, like I said, is I've heard him referred to as the godfather of Sonoma. He has helped so many winemakers get the word out and mentor so many people. And he's just a generous, kind man.
It has a subtle sweet at the end that I'm getting.
Isn't that nice?
That the rest of them don't have. And it's just...
Yeah. And this is just one of their Pinots.
Wow.
Christopher Creek, one of the many Pinots.
Do you think that Pinot is a varietal that is becoming more and more popular, or have they just always had their audience, like you're saying, the passionate ones?
Yeah.
And I think the movie Sideways too.
Thank you, James. You took the words out of my mouth. Sideways, just which was a funny movie. And I don't know if you heard this, but I read that the guy that wrote the script, basically threw a dart and said, "Okay, it's landed on Pinot," and that's how they did it. He wasn't a big Pinot fan. He just kind of said, "Okay, we're going for Pinot," and as a result, that movie basically destroyed Merlot's sales.
Destroyed.
Yes.
And I love Merlot.
Yeah.
And a lot of Merlot makers were like, what do I do? So they started making red table wine.
Yeah, blends.
Right.
And just not using the word Merlot.
Yeah. And now, granted, there was some Merlot out there that shouldn't have even been bottled. But it's so funny what Hollywood can create.
You're right.
And, oh my God, Sideways. And I got news for you. The popularity has not waned at all. It just continues to rise.
So every time I call James, we'll hear the phone ring, and James will go, Merlot. And I always have a chuckle, and I think of Sideways, and I just think, we hope Merlot comes back.
Yeah.
And when we're together drinking wine, he's like, do you have a Merlot? And I'm like, Of course we have a Merlot.
Sure.
This is my fave.
Yeah, the third one is phenomenal.
Alchemista, yeah.
Well, I'm
It's
excited
very,
to
very
try
nice.
The Australian.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a quick break, and we'll come back, taste the final
Jump
wine,
out of the country.
jump out of the United States, and
Head to Australia.
go south of the border, and or south of the equator, and wrap things up.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
That is nice music. That is that the Nutcracker or something? What is that?
Dance of the Pinot Noir Fairy.
Yes, those are actually wine glasses filled with Pinot Noir.
Speaking of Pinot Noir,
Yep. Well, if you're a wine lover and you love Pinot Noir, we have something to tell you. Hold on to your glass. Bam, what is it?
Saturday, January 8th, is the second Palm Springs Pinot Noir Fest, aka a passion for Pinot.
It's all taking place at the world-class JW Marriott's Desert Springs Resort and Spa.
And the cool thing about it is there's over 60 top-tier Pinot Noir producers that'll be pouring their outstanding, world-class Pinot Noirs just for you.
You always like to put a face behind the bottle, but to actually meet, if you love Pinot Noir like we do, to actually meet the winemaker or the owner of that vineyard and talk to him, to her directly, that is freaking awesome. And they're there, man. They're there.
Last year, this event was sold out. Sold out. And this is the biggest and most incredible Pinot Noir tasting south of Santa Barbara.
It's a must. It's a must do. Now, how do I get a ticket? And if I'm a listener to Inside the Bunghole, what kind of bennies do I get?
Well, coincidentally, if you put in the promo code BUNG, B-U-N-G, you'll get $10 off the ticket price. And all you have to do is go to PalmSpringsPinotFest.com. And remember, this event sold out in their first year.
That's right. Yep.
So get your damn tickets early.
Saturday, January 8th.
At JW Marriott's Desert Springs Resort and Spa.
With over 60 top-tier Pinot Noir producers will be there live.
Don't miss this event. And
Yes.
put in promo code BUNG for $10 off your ticket price.
And that's when you log on to www.palmspringspinotfest.com. So go to palmspringspinotfest.com and you go to buy tickets. You put in how many tickets you want, and then you're going to see a little thing that says promo code. Type in BUNG, B-U-N-G, and apply, and you'll get $10 knocked off. Woohoo! So we'll hope to see you there, and it's going to be an awesome, awesome experience. I don't have my glass, but I'm gonna tap your glass.
There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers, people. In case you missed any of this information, it will be in the show notes of the show. And you can always go to our social media. InsideTheBunghole.buzzsprout.com is our website. At Inside the Bunghole is our Instagram. And our Facebook page.
Yes, Facebook page. Something like that.
Something like that. And then there's also at Bunghole Podcast. I think that one's our Twitter.
So there's no excuse. We'll see you out there. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back. We are talking to Mr. Dave Fraschetti of the Palm Springs Pinot Noir Festival, as well as the Rancho Mirage Wine and Food Festival. Dave, we just poured a beautiful Australian wine called Little Yearing.
What did you call me?
A 2016.
That's really nice.
Range Station.
I've never heard of it or had it before. Maybe they should come to our Pinot Fest.
Yes.
They should.
Could be a good write-off for me going down under.
There you
Doing
go.
some market research.
Very nice.
Victoria, Australia. Yeah, I think Inside the Bunghole
I'm getting the
needs to.
cherry again. I'm getting maybe a little cinnamon action, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, it's a little bit more spicy than.
Yeah.
This has a little more minerality than the fruit of the first two. Beautiful.
It is. It's more fruit forward too. It's
Medium body, and then it goes dry. It
Very
lingers
dry.
for a bit, and it goes dry.
It just slides right off the
Slides
palate.
right, yeah.
Very, very smooth.
Not bad. And this was, I believe, was it $17?
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't bad. It was. We got that at our little wine shop around the corner.
There you go.
Desert 111.
There you go.
And it's a 2016. I think these are all 2016s.
So does Pinot Noir not sit in the bottle too long? It's pretty much.
Oh, certain ones can age beautifully
Yeah.
if they're made right, and that it depends on the winemaker. Let's face it, most wines produced nowadays are designed to
Turn and burn.
Turn and burn. Let's drink them. But some of these, like the Alchemista, the Christopher Creek, I don't know. The Little Yearing from Australia, I don't know about those, but these can sit if they're cellared properly for a few years. I'd say 7 years maybe.
And a Pinot Noir, you usually drink a little bit cooler than a different varietal red, like a Merlot or a Cabernet.
Sure.
So these, you actually cool a little bit, quickly refrigerate down to.
Just to knock it down, just bring it down a few degrees to not super cold, but just give it a nice quick chill. Yeah. These are very, very nice.
Well, Mr. Maselli is famous for his wine cellar. That's not really in the cellar, and it's like, he's always so gracious with sharing and saying, "Hey, it's great if it's in the bottle, but it's better if it's in your glass."
Yep, that's true. I mean, just to sit it on a shelf. I mean, let's crack them open, and that's why I wanted to bring these to share with you guys. We could talk about wine, but that's no fun. Let's talk about it and drink the wine.
Exactly.
And have a little pairing.
Absolutely, and then put it with some food.
Your main website is, or if somebody Googles.
Well, we have several. Because
I know you have several events.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone has its own website. You can go to vindiego.com, Rancho Mirage Wine and Food Festival.com, and the Palm Springs Pinot Noir Festival.com.
Or you can always just go to insidethebunghole.buzzsprout.com, and we will have all of his information on our show notes.
Yes.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the
Thanks, you guys, for having me.
risotto
It's been so much fun.
Amazing wines.
Oh, it's been fun tasting and talking and, just hanging with you guys. Getting back to normal.
Yes.
Get back to normal.
That's
Cheers,
right.
Cheers,
everybody.
everybody.
We always
Thanks.
have a fun little clinking in our show. And thank you guys for joining us. And you'll join us again, I'm sure, for the next episode of Inside the Bunghole.
That is nice music. That is that the Nutcracker or something? What is that?
Dance of the Pinot Noir Fairy.
Yes, those are actually wine glasses filled with Pinot Noir.
Speaking of Pinot Noir,
Yep. Well, if you're a wine lover and you love Pinot Noir, we have something to tell you. Hold on to your glass. Bam, what is it?
Saturday, January 8th, is the second Palm Springs Pinot Noir Fest, aka a passion for Pinot.
It's all taking place at the world-class JW Marriott's Desert Springs Resort and Spa.
And the cool thing about it is there's over 60 top-tier Pinot Noir producers that'll be pouring their outstanding, world-class Pinot Noirs just for you.
You always like to put a face behind the bottle, but to actually meet, if you love Pinot Noir like we do, to actually meet the winemaker or the owner of that vineyard and talk to him, to her directly, that is freaking awesome. And they're there, man. They're there.
Last year, this event was sold out. Sold out. And this is the biggest and most incredible Pinot Noir tasting south of Santa Barbara.
It's a must. It's a must do. Now, how do I get a ticket? And if I'm a listener to Inside the Bunghole, what kind of bennies do I get?
Well, coincidentally, if you put in the promo code BUNG, B-U-N-G, you'll get $10 off the ticket price. And all you have to do is go to PalmSpringsPinotFest.com. And remember, this event sold out in their first year.
That's right. Yep.
So get your damn tickets early.
Saturday, January 8th.
At JW Marriott's Desert Springs Resort and Spa.
With over 60 top-tier Pinot Noir producers will be there live.
Don't miss this event. And
Yes.
put in promo code BUNG for $10 off your ticket price.
And that's when you log on to www.palmspringspinotfest.com. So go to palmspringspinotfest.com and you go to buy tickets. You put in how many tickets you want, and then you're going to see a little thing that says promo code. Type in BUNG, B-U-N-G, and apply, and you'll get $10 knocked off. Woohoo! So we'll hope to see you there, and it's going to be an awesome, awesome experience. I don't have my glass, but I'm gonna tap your glass.
There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers, people. In case you missed any of this information, it will be in the show notes of the show. And you can always go to our social media. InsideTheBunghole.buzzsprout.com is our website. At Inside the Bunghole is our Instagram. And our Facebook page.
Yes, Facebook page. Something like that.
Something like that. And then there's also at Bunghole Podcast. I think that one's our Twitter.
So there's no excuse. We'll see you out there. Cheers.
Cheers.